Hello, I'm Rob Elford with Gale Force Winds. It is such an exciting pleasure to be here at Innovation Waves, the inaugural conference being offered by Oceans Advance. So many exciting conversations are taking place here. There were big announcements yesterday. There's a fabulous energy in this conference. And so now I'm interested to hear your perspectives on things. So perhaps you can begin by introducing yourself and talk about why you're here.
Sure. So my name is Captain Drodge. I am the head School of Maritime Studies at the Fisheries and Marine Institute, Memorial University of Newfoundland. Bit of a mouthful, but it is a very important school within the campus of Memorial University that really drives a lot of the professionals that come into the maritime industries, everything from ship designers to captains to marine engineers. So it's a very wide, encompassing school and education, and I'm privileged to be part of it. And I'm happy to be here also as a board member of Oceans Advance here at Innovation Waves.
So, as a board member, can you talk a little about Oceans Advance and what you're hoping to achieve through this?
As a representative on the board with Oceans Advance, I believe my goal is to help promote the opportunities with post-secondary education, particularly in the blue economy and the oceans industry here in the province. But also when we think of what's happening here in the province, we also have to think about what's happening in the country. And the Marine Institute, with Oceans Advance, I think has a great opportunity to use what's happening here and actually start using it throughout the not just the East Coast but the West Coast and into the Arctic. There's a lot of talent here in Newfoundland that and is growing every almost every year. With new companies, but also the professionals that are coming out of post-secondary education from Memorial University, from the Marine Institute, and amongst others that are helping drive innovation, that are helping drive new technology, and are operating that technology, whether it be through our facilities at the launch or through our campuses, down in St. John's or NRC, or they're out on the water and they're doing research. This is where, we're seeing a lot of our students grow into industry professionals, innovators, the people that are driving companies and growing economic development in the province.
Yeah, there's so much going on at Marine Institute. So many programs that I'm learning about, a real niche. I would say internationally respected niche that you guys have
very much so. Yeah, and you're right. There is a bit of a niche, and some things we are the only ones that do. Like, for example, we have design programs within, like, ship design programs, naval architecture, mechanical design, that are the only ones like that in the country. So when you start thinking about the shipbuilding industry and what we're doing from a defense aspect with the Coast Guard and National Defense on the West Coast, up in the lakes in Quebec, and on the East Coast with Irving Shipbuilding, we have graduates from these programs that are leading companies in the design aspects of these efforts. And when you think of, like, the small community that comes out of the Marine Institute and thinking about the influence that they're having and the impact they're having, it's astronomical. For everyone from Genoa to Fleetway to C-SPAN to Irving, it's quite incredible when you actually think about the alumni that comes from MI and from MUN, that how much influence and how much opportunity we have for showing that to future students and saying this is possible.
Where does most of your student body come from?
Traditionally, most of our student body comes from rural Newfoundland. We are actually seeing a bit of an uptick from rural Newfoundland, even though the population is somewhat declining. I think that's because of the opportunity. People are seeing it. They're hearing about it. They're seeing it on the news. They're hearing it on the radio. There's a lot of friends and family. That's how most people learn about what they want to do in life. But we are seeing more international students, and when we think about research and we think about developing technologies, we see a lot of international students coming in from that on the graduate and on the postgraduate and the doctorate levels, and that's important, and we want to continue with that. And I think the federal government, in allowing those restrictions to be removed in the last budget, I think that was really important for not only our university post-secondary, but also across the country, because that's where we're also driving a lot of innovation and particularly in the ocean sector. And it's Oceans Advance that kind of we bring that together and we see, what's going on with research or what potential we could find, and we have the opportunity and the potential to link up companies within the membership to researchers and help them progress with federal funding, and then that kind of gets a more provincial, federal aspect and flavor to what they're doing.
Yes, you guys are doing so many things right. I'm just thinking of my own context. I come from small town, rural Newfoundland, Trinity Bay. Even in my little community of about 1,000 people, I know someone who's finished the Naval Architect program who's gone to have a tremendously successful career.
Yeah.
Someone who finished the Nautical Science program who's a skipper at sea. Even in my own family, I have a nephew who's just finished the ROV program, and his brother who's in the geomatics program.
Yeah.
The excitement around the dinner table when they're talking about their job opportunities is
huge.
fabulous.
Yeah,
Huge.
yeah. And Trinity Bay, I got connections there too.
Yeah.
And even just this last weekend, we had a model boat competition at the Marine Institute, sponsored by a lot of companies that are here today.
Yeah.
And through associations like Oceans Advance and others, we can help bring these students, these learners in from rural Newfoundland and into the Marine Institute, or go visit them and show them opportunities like ship design through the model boat competition. And we had Bishop White out from Port Rexton. First time they were ever there, came fourth, right? And first time there, so and Clarenville won. So it's outside the metropolitan area, and it's important because we find a lot of the innovators in this province, especially at the Marine Institute, don't come from the St. John's metropolitan area. They're the ones that are driven from the rural economy, rural areas, rural communities, and they're the ones that are actually helping build rural economic development in Newfoundland.
People.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for this conversation. Thanks for what you're doing. The Marine Institute is something, as a Newfoundlander, I'm really proud of what you guys are doing. So thanks for this conversation.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity to speak.
All the best.
Take care.